Are you ready for something new?
What are we trying?
We're going to play a game like we did yesterday, but we're going to play a game called Forbidden Island. This is a new game.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
What is it?
I'm going to read the rules to you, and you're going to help me like you did before, but this time I'm going to read the rules and see if that helps you to understand what we're trying to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
Read me the rules.
All right.
I'm listening.
Very good. So the object of the game is we are a team of adventurers that must work together to keep the Forbidden Island from sinking in order to buy enough time to capture its 4 treasures. Once you've captured them, you must make it to Fool's Landing and escape by helicopter to win. If, however, the island sinks before you can complete your task, your mission ends in defeat. So does that make sense?
Yeah. So we're racing against the island sinking. Get 4 treasures, then escape to Fool's Landing before it goes under. That's the whole thing.
You got it. All right, so here's how you play. I've set up the island here on the table between us, and it has a lot of tiles that are out here. There are 24 tiles that I randomly set face up. On the other side, this is what the tiles look like. They look like this. And then on the other side, they are blue and white. Where here they're full color, the other side is blue and white. This means that they're sinking if they're facing this way. Right now, they're all set up face up with the color side up. That means they haven't started sinking yet. So I made the grid. It's a 4x4 center with 2 at the top and then 2 on each side. So there's a total of 24. Then we place the treasures. There's 4 treasures. Some of them look like this. There's 4 total. There's one that looks like this. One that looks like this.
So the tiles flip over when they sink.
And one
Color
like that.
side up means safe, blue and white means drowning. And the treasures are these 4 pieces you were showing me?
Yep. All right, so the 4 treasures are named the
Yeah,
Earth.
I see it. So there's 4 different treasures scattered on the island.
Yep. There's the Earthstone, the Statue of the Wind, the Crystal of Fire, and the Ocean's Chalice. They're around the board, and your team will try to capture these treasures during the course of the game by discarding 4 matching cards on the corresponding tile. So if we want to capture say for example, the Crystal of Fire, we have to be on a tile with that picture on it,
So
which is
Earthstone, Wind, Statue, Fire, Crystal, Ocean's Chalice. And we grab them by discarding matching cards on the right dial.
Yep. So if we're on this tile and discard 4 of those cards, we can take that treasure.
Yeah, got it. We got to be standing on the right tile, then dump 4 matching cards to claim that treasure. 4 cards, 1 treasure.
You got it. All right, so then we have 4 different decks of cards. This one is called the Flood deck. This one is called the Treasure deck. And then we have Adventurer cards. So here's what happens first. The island starts to sink. Shuffle the Flood deck, which I've done already, and place it face down on the side of the island to form the Flood draw pile. I'm going to put that right here. Then draw the top 6 cards one at a time and place them face up next to the draw pile to form the Flood discard pile. For each card drawn, flip the tile over to its flooded side. So, first one is the Iron Gate. So the Iron Gate has been flipped over to its side where it's getting ready to flood. Next, we have the Whispering Garden.
So Iron Gate is one of the first to start sinking. We're losing tiles right from the start.
Yep. But we have a way to flip them back over, so I'll show you that in just a minute.
So we can flip them back. That's good to know.
Yep. Then we have Fool's Landing. That one's important because we have to get to Fool's Landing to get on the helicopter to leave. If that one disappears, we lose the game instantly.
So Fool's Landing is the escape point. If that sinks, we're done.
Yep.
No matter what.
Exactly.
We have to keep that one alive.
You got it. And then we have the Lost Lagoon.
Lost Lagoon's another one we need to watch.
Then we have one more, the Golden Gate or the Gold Gate. That one's here. So we have 6 tiles that have already been flipped over. They are the Gold Gate, the Whispering Garden, the Lost Lagoon, the Iron Gate, the Crimson Forest, and Fool's Landing.
So 6 tiles are already sinking before we even start playing. That's rough. And Fool's Landing is one of them. We got to flip it back immediately or we're toast.
Exactly. We got to make sure we keep a really good eye on that one. The next says the Adventurers appear. So I'm going to shuffle these, and we each get 1 card. I'm going to give you 1, and I'm going to take 1.
Cool. So we each pick an adventurer to play as.
Yep. So I dealt them out. So this one is your adventurer. That one's the character that you're going to play.
Who'd I get?
You got the Messenger. That's this token. There you go. You start at the Silver Gate, which is right next to 2 of the tiles that are flooding. The Lost Lagoon and the Whispering Gardens are right next to it. I am the pilot. I start on Fool's Landing. That's great, because then I can help flip it back over.
So I'm the messenger starting at the Silver Gate right next to 2 flooded tiles. And you're the pilot starting at Fool's Landing. Smart move being right there to protect it. My specific job as the messenger.
All right, I'll do...
What can I do that you can't?
Yep, I'll do yours first. You can give treasure cards to a player anywhere on the island for 1 action per card. So you can just hand out cards, which is good because the same person has to turn in all 4 cards. So if you say, for example, you have 2 and I have 2, you can use 2 actions, just give me the 2 that I need, and then we can get that treasure.
Oh, that's huge. So I'm the connector. I can pass cards around to whoever needs them. That means we don't both have to collect all 4 of the same treasure. We can split the work.
Yep, but you got to make sure that you get them to me before when I'm on a tile where I need them.
So timing matters. I gotta get you the card while you're actually on the treasure tile or it doesn't work.
Yep. All right, and then my job is I am the pilot, where once per turn, I can fly to any tile on the island for 1 location. Normally you have to move 1 space at a time, but I can go anywhere I want for just 1 turn.
That's a good power. So you can zip across the board fast while I'm moving tile by tile. That helps when we need to get somewhere quick or protect a tile that's about to go under.
Yep. All right, so now the next thing is handing out treasure deck cards. Thoroughly shuffle the treasure deck and deal 2 cards to each player. Put them face up in front of them. So I am going to give you your treasure cards face up in front of you, and I'll tell you what they are. There's 1. Does that picture on that look like this?
Cool.
Can you tell?
So we start with 2 treasure cards in hand. What did I get?
Can you tell that these 2 things are the same? This treasure and this card look the same?
Yeah, I can see it. The card matches the treasure on the board. Same picture?
Very good. So you get 1 of those. That is the chalice.
Ocean's Chalice. That's one of the 4 we need.
Yep. And remember, we need 4 of those cards and be on the Ocean's Chalice space to pick it up. But then you also have this card. This is the Earthstone. You get 1 of those. Now, here's what the sandbags do. Shore up any 1 tile on the island. Normally, you can only flip over tiles that you're standing on, but I can flip over any tile on the island that I want when I play this card.
Oh, so sandbags let us flip tiles back over from anywhere on the board. That's clutch. We don't have to run to every flooded tile.
Yep, exactly. All right, so now we've got them. Next is set the water level. We have this little dial here, which has the water level on it. And we don't want to get it all the way up to this icon at the top, which is the skull and crossbones. Skull and crossbones is usually good or bad. What do you think?
Bad. skull and crossbones is definitely bad.
Yep. So we got to avoid letting the water get all the way up to there. We've got to get off the island before the water rises all the way to that top. Now, since this is your first game, we're starting it all the way at the bottom here on Novice because you haven't played before. All right, so here's
So
how...
we start on Novice and work our way up.
Yep.
Water levels at the bottom right now, which gives us some breathing room. But we got to keep it from hitting the skull.
Yep. All right, so here's how you actually play. The player who last visited an island goes first. That's me. On every turn, do the following 3 things in order. Take up to 3 actions, then draw 2 treasure cards, then draw flood cards equal to the water level. The water level right now is 2, so we're going to draw 2 flood cards.
So every turn, 3 actions, draw 2 treasure cards, then draw flood cards based on the water level. Right now that's 2 cards. Water level goes up, we draw more flood cards and things get harder.
You got it. All right, so here are the 3 actions that you can do. Move is 1 action. Shore up is another action. Give a treasure card is another action. And capture a treasure.
So our 3 action options are move, shore up a tile, play a treasure card, or capture a treasure. That's what we can do each turn.
Yep. All right, so for move, you may, for 1 or more actions, move your pawn to an adjacent island tile, either up, down, left, or right, but you can't go diagonally. You can move onto a flooded tile, but you can't move over a space if the tile is missing.
So I can move up, down, left, right, 1 tile per action. I can walk on flooded tiles, but if a tile is completely gone, I can't cross it. That's the wall.
You got it. All right, shore up. This one's important. You may, for 1 or more actions, meaning you can do it multiple times, shore up any adjacent island tile or the island tile that your pawn is on. To shore up a tile, simply flip it over so it's on its unflooded side. So you can either flip over the one you're on or one that is next to it.
So shore up means flip a tile back over. I can do it on my own tile or an adjacent one. And I can use multiple actions to shore up different tiles if I need to.
All right, then the next is give a treasure card. You may give 1 or more of your treasure cards to another player if both of your pawns are on the same island tile. It costs 1 action for each card you give. Now here's the exception. The messenger may give cards without having to be on the same tile. So remember we talked about this before? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah. So normally you both got to be on the same tile to trade cards. But I'm a messenger, so I can hand you cards from anywhere on the island. 1 action per card. That's why I'm the connector. I can get you what you need even if we're split up.
You got it. All right, then next is capture a treasure. You may, and that's the 4th action, you may, for 1 action, capture a treasure by discarding 4 matching treasure cards from your hand if your pawn is either on either corresponding tile. So each of these tiles out here some of them have icons. 2 of them have each icon. So there are 2 that have the chalice, 2 that have the earthstone, 2 that have the fire, 2 have the statue of the wind. So we can be on either one of those, discard 4 cards that match that icon, and then we get to take the treasure.
So each treasure has 2 tiles with its icon. I can be on either one, discard 4 matching cards and grab the treasure. That means we have options for where to go. We don't have to fight over one specific spot. So if a tile completely disappears, we lose that treasure forever. But if it's just flooded, flipped over, we can still grab it. That's why we gotta be fast with the sandbags.
Yep, and remember that there are 2 for each icon, so one of them can disappear, but we lose if both of them do.
Right. So we can afford to lose 1 tile per treasure, but if both disappear, the treasure's gone forever and we lose the game.
Yep. All right, so those are our 4 actions that we can do. The next thing is, after that,
Draw 2 treasure cards.
you got it. All right, so you just draw 2 cards off the treasure deck. They're going to be cards like these ones that you already have, and I'll help you remember which ones you've got. I know it's hard for you to see them, so I'll help you remember what you have. So you get 2 more treasure cards. And remember, we're trying to collect those so that we can turn them in to get the treasures. Now, you draw one card at a time, and then I'm going to show you a special card. It's this one here, and I'll reshuffle these. There is a card called Waters Rise. This is a bad card. It's in the treasure deck, but this is a card we don't want to see. What this means is you move the water level up 1 tick mark, and then we shuffle the flood discard pile, which are the ones we've already seen, and we place it back on top of the flood pile. So the ones that have already been flooded, they're going to try and disappear because they're going right back on the top of the deck, and that's bad because we could quickly lose them. Then we discard this card to the treasure discard pile.
So Waters Rise is the card we dread. It bumps the water level up, which means next turn we draw more flood cards. And it reshuffles all the tiles we've already saved back into the deck so they can flood again. That's brutal.
So you can kind of see here on the marker, we get 2 chances at level 2. So when it rises, it's still going to be at 2. Then it goes up to 3 for 3 levels. Then it goes up to 4 for 3 levels, and then it goes up to 5 for 2 levels. And what this means is this is how many flood cards we have to draw.
So we start with breathing room at level 2, drawing 2 flood cards. But if Waters Rise hits us, we climb up fast. Level 3 is 3 cards level, 4 is 4 cards level, 5 is 5 cards. That gets out of hand quick.
Yep. And then there are 2 special cards. One of them is the sandbags, which I already explained. You can turn that in and flip over any tile on the board. And then the last one is the pilot or the helicopter lifts. That looks like this. And what that is, you can keep it just like your other cards. And it says move 1 or more pawns on the same tile to any other tile. So, and also you need this card to lift off at the end of the game. If you don't have this card at the end of the game, even though I'm the pilot, I can't take off without this card.
Without it, we can't win, even if we have all 4 treasures.
Then the last thing to know about this is you have a hand limit. You can only keep 5 cards. And we can use, like if I use my sandbag card, I can use it if I've got too many
5 card
cards.
max in hand. Right now we are at 3, so we've got room to grow before we hit the limit.
Yep, but remember, somebody has to have 4 of 1 card in their hand. So we're going to be discarding a lot to try and get the specific ones we need.
We'll burn 2 cards fast trying to collect 4 of a kind. That's why the sandbags and helicopter lift cards matter. We might have to discard them to make room, but we need them later. Got to be careful what we throw away.
You got it. All right, so then, remember we said take 3 actions. Then it's to draw the 2 treasure deck cards, which we just talked about. Then what was the last thing we do each turn?
Draw flood cards equal to the water level.
That is correct.
Right now that's 2 cards, so we draw 2 from the flood deck and flip those tiles over.
Exactly. But what happens if we draw a flood card and the tile is already flipped over? I haven't talked about that yet, but do you have any idea what might happen?
If it's already flooded, does it disappear? Like the tile gets removed from the board?
It does. It gets removed completely. So any pawns, so if our... Go ahead.
Yeah. So if we draw a tile that's already flooded, it seems completely gone. That's why we gotta stay on top of flipping them back over with sandbags. Once a tile disappears, we can't get it back.
And then if a pawn is on a tile that becomes flooded, you can lift it off of that tile, flip it, and then return it to the tile if we're putting a tile back together. So for example, I'm on Fool's Landing. I can then flip Fool's Landing back over and put my pawn back on top of it. But if my pawn is on a tile that disappears, I have to make sure that I can move to an adjacent tile, just north, south, or east, or west. If I can't do that, we lose the game.
Got it. So if we're standing on a tile, when it floods, we flip it back over and stay put.
Yep.
If it disappears completely, we gotta be able to move to an adjacent tile or we lose instantly. That means we can't get trapped.
Now it says if the flood draw pile ever runs out, immediately reshuffle the discard and stack the cards face down to form a new flood draw pile. If this happens in the middle of a turn, continue drawing flood cards as necessary to form the new pile.
So if the flood deck runs out mid-turn, we reshuffle the discard pile and keep drawing. We don't stop, we just keep going until we've drawn all the flood cards we need for the turn.
You got it. All right, and then here's how the game ends. To win the game, get to Fool's Landing. Once you've collected all 4 treasures, everyone must move their pawns to Fool's Landing. Then one player must discard a helicopter lift card to lift your team off the Forbidden Island for the win. Note, you may win if Fool's Landing is flooded. So even if it's flooded but still there, we can lift off and win the game.
So we grab all 4 treasures, get to Fool's Landing, even if it's flooded, and then play the helicopter lift card to escape. That's the win condition. We just gotta make sure we hold onto the card and don't accidentally discard it early.
All right, and here's how we lose. I've already talked about a couple of them, but I'm going to go over all of them. There are 4 possible ways to lose. If both temples, caves, palaces, or gardens, those are the 4 that the treasures belong to. If both of them, of that type, if they sink before you collect the treasure.
So if both tiles for any treasure sink before we collect it, we lose the treasure forever and the game's over. That's why we gotta prioritize, pick which treasures to go for first.
Yep, and then if Fool's Landing sinks, we lose because there's no way to take off.
Yeah, Fool's Landing disappears, we're stuck. Game over. That's why we gotta keep that one alive, no matter what.
And then if any player's on an island tile that sinks and they don't have a tile to swim to, we lose.
Right. If the water level hits that skull and crossbones at the top, we lose. Game over. So we got to keep it below that the whole time.
All right, you think you're ready to go? Do you think you understand the game?
Yeah, I think so. We're racing to grab 4 treasures before the island sinks. I'm the messenger, I can pass cards around from anywhere. You're the pilot, you can fly across the board. We draw flood cards every turn tiles disappear, and we gotta keep Fool's Landing alive so we can escape. The tricky part is balancing what we shore up versus what we let go. Ready to start.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm on Fool's Landing. Remember, I got 3 things I can do on my turn in any order. I believe I'm going to shore up Fool's Landing. So I'm flipping that one over, so Fool's Landing is not flooded anymore. I can also shore up an adjacent tile, and the Iron Gate is to the south of me. So I'm going to shore up that one, so that's 2. And then I think I'm going to move on to it because there's a couple that are on either side of it that are also flooded. And now I'm going to draw 2 cards. All right, I got a fire, and then I got a helicopter lift. All right, so that is my turn, and then now I have to draw 2 flood cards. The Temple of the Sun floods, that's over here, next to the Crimson Forest, and then the Misty Marsh floods. That is also over here. So they're over close to where I am. So I think that's actually going to be pretty good. Now it's your turn. So let me explain where you are on the board. You are 2 spaces away from where I am, 2 spaces to the right. So what do you want to do on your turn?
Okay, so I'm at Silver Gate. Whispering Gardens and Lost Lagoon are both flooded right next to me. I think I should shore up one of those.
Okay, do you have a preference? Pick one.
Which one should I flip first, Whispering Gardens or Lost Lagoon?
I'm fine with either choice. You decide.
Lost Lagoon. It's closer to where we need to go, and we've got more tiles around it to work with if things get bad.
Sounds great. So that's 1 action. You have 2 more left. What do you want to do next?
Alright. I gotta shore up Whispering Gardens while I'm still next to it. Then move to Lost Lagoon. Got it. So shore up Whispering Gardens first, then move on to Lost Lagoon. Right, that's my 3 actions done. Now I draw the treasure cards.
Yep. All right, let's see what you get. All right, you got another stone. So you have 1 chalice and 2 stones right now. And you got another chalice.
Oh yeah, 2 chalices and 2 earth stones. I need 2 more chalices to get the ocean's chalice treasure.
Yep, but I have 1 chalice too. So between us, we have 3. And remember, we can share.
Aha, right. You've got 1 chalice, I've got 2. That's 3 total. We just need 1 more and then I can hand you all 4 on the same tile and we grab that treasure.
Yep. All right, so you remember what you do next on your turn after the treasure cards?
Draw flood cards.
Yep. All right, Tidal Palace.
Water levels at 2, so I draw 2 cards from the flood deck and flip those tiles over.
Yep, Tidal Palace is 1. And Cave of Embers is the other one. Those are pretty far towards the edge of the board, but here's the good thing. The Tidal Palace has a chalice on it. Well, shoot. Oh, there's the other chalice. The other chalice is right next to Fool's Landing.
So Coral Palace is right next to Fool's Landing. That's our chalice tile. Temple of the Sun is out on the edge and harder to protect. We let the 1 go and focus everything on keeping Coral Palace alive. Smart.
So I am going to, because I've got things I can do on my turn, I am going to go ahead and flip over the Crimson Forest for 1 action. I am then going to move to Fool's Landing. And because Misty Marsh is right next adjacent to Fool's Landing, I flip that one over. Or my 3 actions for my turn.
So you move to Fool's Landing and short up Misty Marsh while you were there. That's 3 actions. You're protecting the treasures around you.
Yep, and we've got 3 treasure tiles right near Fool's Landing, so those are the ones we should focus on.
Now you draw the treasure cards and then flood cards.
All right, so remember, I can only have 5 cards. All right, I got another stone, so now we have 3 stones, and we have 3 chalices, but I have to get rid of a card because I've got 5 now. I am going to...
So you're using your sandbags to flip a tile land that gets you down to 4 cards.
Yep.
Which one are you shoring up?
I'm going to shore this one up.
So you were shoring up Cave of Embers. It's got the fire treasure on it and it's the farthest one out. Keeps it safe and clears a card from your hand.
So I'm drawing my second treasure. Hopefully it's either a stone or a chalice. Here we go.
What did you draw?
I drew a wind. So we have, right now we have 1 fire, 1 wind, 3 stone, and 3 chalice. And then what do I have to do next?
Draw flood cards.
Here we go. It is the...
Water level still at 2, so 2 more flood cards.
Yep, it is the watchtower, which is down here in the corner. Not really important. And it is the Dunes of Deception. Oh, those are way up here at the top. Those are not important either.
The tiles that are flooding aren't the ones we need right now. We've got time to work with.
So, because I am close to being out of cards, or I have too many cards, I think I'm going to use the helicopter lift right now to move you. If that's okay with you. I'm going to move you to the Whispering Gardens. All right, so it is your turn. And I would suggest flipping over the ones that are near you. The Golden Gate and Tidal Palace are near you. If you want to try and flip those over, or do you have another idea?
Yay, I'll flip those. Golden Gate first, since it's right next to me, then move to Temple of the Sun and flip that one too. That's 2 actions. Then I've got 1 left. I could move closer to where we need to go or short up something else. What do you think? Should I move toward Coral Palace or handle another flooded tile first?
I think you should do another flooded tile, because again, you're right next to the Tidal Palace, so maybe you should flip that one over.
Right, Temple of the Palace is right next to me. Shore that up, then move to Coral Palace. That leaves me 1 action to work with when I get there.
Nope, that's all 3. Remember, you flipped over the Golden Gate, you flipped over Tidal Palace, and you moved to Coral Palace. That's all 3.
Got it. Golden Gate, Temple of the Palace, then move to Coral Palace. 3 actions done.
Yep, the good thing about Coral Palace is what? What does Coral Palace have on it that we need?
Coral Palace has the chalice on it. That's the treasure we are closest to getting. We've already got 3 cards for it.
Yep.
Just need 1 more.
Here we go. Good luck. You got a helicopter lift, so that's your 5th card.
Wait, 6th card. I thought I was at 5 card max.
You are, but you get to draw your 6th card and then discard down to 5. Does that make sense?
Oh, so I draw a 6th card, then I get to pick which one to discard down to 5. That makes sense.
Yep. All right, here we go.
What's the 6th card?
Another helicopter lift.
Oh, so I can use the helicopter lift to move you somewhere strategic instead of discarding it. Where should I move you? Back toward Fool's Landing or somewhere to protect the treasure tile?
I think the Crimson Forest would be good because there are 2 tiles right next to it that I can flip over.
Yeah, Crimson Forest. You can shore up the 2 tiles next to it right away. That's smart positioning.
All right, so what do you have to do next?
Draw flood cards. Water level still 2, so 2 more cards.
Yep, so we flipped over Phantom Rock, which is over here on the side. It's right by where I am and by the Temple of the Sun. And Bronze Gate. Ooh, Bronze Gate we kind of need because it is right between 2 of the treasure tiles. So we got to be careful not to lose the Bronze Gate.
So Phantom Rock and Bronze Gate. Bronze Gate is the important one. It's between 2 treasure tiles. We got to keep it alive or we lose access to those treasures.
You got it. All right, here on my turn, I'm going to flip over the Temple of the Sun because it's adjacent to me. I'm going to flip over the Watchtower, which is adjacent. And then I'm going to move up to the Misty Marsh so that I'm closer to some more tiles that have been flipped over. All right. You ready to see what treasures I get?
Yeah. What did you pull?
Oh, no. Can you see what card that is? That is a Waters Rise card. So here's what we got to do. We got to move the marker up 1. We're still at 2 though. Then this is the tough part. We have to shuffle these flood cards, the ones that have already flooded. And then we put them back
Waters
on.
Rise. So the water level goes up and all those tiles we already flipped come back into the deck. That's bad.
Yep, but you know what? There's only 3 tiles that are flipped over right now, so we're doing okay. But it is possible we could.
Reshuffling the discard pile back on top of the flood deck.
It is possible, depending on what comes up, we could lose those 3 tiles. And we don't want to get unlucky and lose the Bronze Gate.
So we've got 3 tiles flipped right now. Bronze Gate is the one we can't afford to lose. If that comes up again, it disappears and we're in trouble. We got to be lucky with the draw.
Yep, but here's my second card. Because remember, I only drew 1. This is my second one, and it's another fire. So we've got 2 fire, 3 stone, 3 chalices, and 1 wind. We got to get lucky with one of these draws so we can start collecting treasures. We need all 4.
Water level went up 1 tick, but we're still at the 2 card draw level. We haven't hit 3 yet. We're still safe for now.
And then the second one is the Cave of Embers. It's down here.
That's one of the fire treasures, right?
But again, we've got another one that's closer, so it's not a big deal. But again, we can't lose the Bronze Gate. So you are close enough to fix the Bronze Gate right now. You could either move to the Temple of the Moon, which would allow you to shore up 2 different tiles, including the Bronze Gate, or you could go to Fool's Landing and just shore up the Bronze Gate. Which do you think? Do you want to move to the Temple of the Moon and get 2 tiles?
Temple of the Moon. If I move there, I can shore up 2 tiles instead of 1. That's more efficient. I can protect Bronze Gate and another one at the same time.
All right, let's do that. So you move to the Temple of the Moon. You shore up the Bronze Gate, which is great, because now we're not going to lose
I
it.
move to Temple of the Moon. That's one action. Then I shore up Bronze Gate and one other tile next to me. That's 2 more. 3 actions done.
Yep, the other tile was the Dunes of Deception. You went ahead and did that. I have a feeling that if I explained to you where all these tiles were, that you could probably remember. What do you think? Do you think you can remember where they all are? Or is that too much?
I think I could do it. It'd be easier if I actually saw the board from your angle, but hey, if you point them out, I can track where stuff is.
Okay.
Try it next game.
I think that sounds like a great idea. All right, so it is time for you to get your treasure cards. Here you go. Your first treasure card is
I'm listening.
a wind. We do not need this at all right now. Let's go ahead and discard it. Because remember, we only have 1 wind. We have 3 of 2 other
Wind's
cards.
not helping us right now anyway. We need Firestone, Chalice, and Water. We're collecting those 4.
Another wind. That is no good. I'm discarding that one too.
Wait, so we drew another wind? That's 2 winds now. Still don't need it though. We're going for the 4 core treasures.
Yep. And the wind is one of the 4 core treasures, but we've only got 1 of those. We got unlucky and got 2 more when we couldn't use them. We seriously just need a chalice or a stone. All right, so now you get to do your 2 flood cards. Temple of the Sun over here, right by where I am, and Misty Marsh.
Temple of the Sun, where you are, in Misty Marsh. Both go underwater.
I'm just going to redo the Misty Marsh, which is what I was standing on. That's 1 action. Then I'm going to move to Phantom Rock and flip over Temple of the Sun because it's got a treasure on it. So that's good enough. I think we're okay. All right, you ready to see what my treasures are? Hopefully I get lucky and get either a stone or a chalice. I even settle for a fire.
Yeah, let's see what you pull. We need stone or chalice bad.
Got a stone. I'm going to get rid of my wind card. I don't need it. So now, between the 2 of us, we have 4 stone cards. But I am right next to a stone space. If you give me your 2 stone cards on your turn, I can, on my turn, go get the stone treasure.
So you got fire. That's actually good. We need that anyway. And yay, I'll give you my 2 stone cards on my next turn. You'll be right there at the stone treasure, so you can claim it. That's 1 treasure locked down.
All right, and then I do get to draw 1 more card. Maybe I'll get lucky and also get a chalice. Nope, another stone, but that's good because now I've got 3 stone cards. Trying to decide, do I want to keep 3 stone cards so you only have to give me 1? Or, you don't have that much to do on your turn, so you giving me 2 I think is good. That way if I keep the fire that I've got, that'll help us get the fire treasure later. All right, here comes the flood. Iron Gate is here, right below Fool's Landing. And Phantom Rock. Oh no, that's the one I'm on. But guess what? That actually kind of helps us because now I get to swim right to the place I need to be. But Phantom Rock is gone from the game.
So Phantom Rock's gone. But you're right next to where you need to be now anyway. And we're building up stones, almost locked fires in hand. We just need chalice and water.
Yep, so I am actually sitting on the Temple of the Sun, which has the stone treasure on it. And it is now your turn. What do you think you want to do? Do you remember what cards you have and what cards I need?
I've got 2 stone cards. You're a Temple of the Sun where the stone treasures. So I give you both stone cards on my turn that gets you to 4 total and you claim the stone treasure. Then you need chalice and water. What do I do with my actions, Bill? Shore up tiles or move closer to something?
You gave me 2 cards. That's perfect. I think maybe you could move closer to Fool's Landing, like maybe stand on Coral Palace, which is right below you. So if you stood on Coral Palace and you got lucky and got some chalices, you'd be right there for that for your next turn.
Yeah, that makes sense. I move to Coral Palace, that's one action. Then I shore up a tile if I need to, or just wait to draw cards and hope for chalice. Sound good?
Yep, that sounds perfect. So because you gave me 2 cards, that's 2 actions. And then you move to Coral Palace, that's 3 actions, so that's your turn. So what do you do next?
I draw 2 treasure cards, hoping for chalice so we can get closer to winning.
You got it. Fire. You got a fire card. And a chalice. You got a chalice. You've got 3 chalices now. I just have to give you one on my turn. And then you can get the chalice. So we're doing great.
Chalice. We got 3 now. You give me 1 on your turn. I'm right there at Coral Palace. I can claim the chalice treasure. Stone and chalice. 2 down, 2 to go.
All right, but we gotta survive the flood first. Here come your flood cards. Oh no, there goes Bronze Gate again. And the last one is...
Bronze Gate is back in the flood pile? That's the one we can't lose.
Yep, and then we got Watchtower too. Watchtower's not a big deal.
I'm listening.
All right, here we go. My turn. Our first treasure. I'm discarding 4. I'm discarding 4 stone cards.
So Watchtower floods, but it's not critical. You are discarding 4 cards, now cleaning up before your turn.
And check this out, Moxie. Our first treasure. We got the stone treasure.
1 down. You claimed the stone treasure. Yeah, you had to burn those 4 cards to get it, but now we've got it locked in. 3 treasures left: chalice, fire, water.
Okay, now this is kind of tricky. I'm also on my turn going to give you the chalice, but that would give you 6 cards. So I'm going to have you go ahead and play your helicopter lift and just lift me out of this corner back to Fool's Landing so I can help with the Bronze Gate. Does that make sense?
Oh, so I play my helicopter lift card to get you out of that corner and back to Fool's Landing so you can help defend Bronze Gate. That way we're both protecting it when the floods come.
Yep. So my first action was to get the treasure. My second action is to give you the chalice. And then my third action is to flip the Bronze Gate back over.
So you claim the chalice treasure. That's 2 down. Then you give me the chalice card. I am at Coral Palace, so next turn I can claim it too.
All right, so I'm going to get my 2 treasure cards. I got a fire one, which is good. And then my second one is a wind.
What's the second card?
Wind. All right, so now that's the end of my turn, and we're going to do flood cards. The Dunes of Deception gets flipped over. And then the Lost Lagoon gets flipped over.
Wind. So now you've got fire and wind cards. Dunes of Deception, floods. We're getting close to having everything we need.
We are. All right, that's the end of my turn. All right, what do you want to do? Do you remember what all you have?
I've got 4 chalice cards. I am at Coral Palace right next to the chalice treasure. So I claim it, that's 1 action. Then I've got 2 more actions. Should I move somewhere to help you or shore up tiles?
Let's see. All right, so I'm discarding your 4 cards, your 4 chalice cards, and now you've claimed your first treasure. You've got the chalice. It's all yours, buddy.
Chalice treasure claimed.
Yep.
2 treasures down. Fire and wind left.
So now, if you want to, you are right next to the Lost Lagoon. If you want to shore that up.
That's my second action. 1 left.
What was your first action? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. Claiming the chalice treasure. That's the first action. Discarding the 4 cards. Then moving to Lost Lagoon is the second action. Then shoring it up is the third.
You
Maybe
got
all
it.
three.
All right. So now that's the end of your moves. Let's get your cards. Now we're probably going to find another Waters Rise in here any second. You got another Chalice. That is not helpful to us, so we could probably discard that anytime now. And there's the second Waters Rise card. That's what I was expecting. All right, so now the Waters rise up to 3. So this is our first time turning over 3 flood cards.
Water level jumps to 3. That means you draw 3 flood cards next turn instead of 2. Things are getting tight.
Yep. All right. So Crimson Forest. That's over here on the side.
Yeah. 3 at once is gonna hurt. We got to hope Bronze Gate doesn't come up.
All right, so this one could be a problem. This is Whispering Garden. That is the closest.
Crimson Forest floods. That's not Bronze Gate, though we're okay for now.
Except we just lost Whispering Garden to a flood, and that's the one that has the wind treasure on it. That's the closest wind treasure.
Oh no. Whispering Garden's gone. That's where the wind treasure is.
And now
Is there
Fools.
another wind treasure somewhere else on the board, or was that our only shot?
Nope, we also have one at Howling Garden, which is kind of far away. It's at the very bottom of the map. But we're okay. Then the last one was Fool's Landing, which is where I'm standing. So I think we're going to be okay. All right, so now the last thing is we did that, so now it's my turn again. I'm going to flip over Fool's Landing, so that's 1. I'm going to move to Coral Palace and then flip over Whispering Garden. So that's all 3 of mine. So I was able to shore up 2 of the ones we really needed. All right, here we go. Here's my cards. I got another wind. So now we have a total of 2 wind and 2 fire. And I got a helicopter lift.
To wind, to fire, and helicopter lift. We're almost there, just need to get to those treasures before the island takes them.
All right, so we're doing 3 flood tiles now. I flooded Golden Gate flooded. Cave of Shadows flooded. That's bad because now Cave of Shadows and Cave of Embers are both flooded, and that's where our 2 fires are. And then the observatory also flooded. They're flooding faster than we can flip them over
Wait.
now.
Both fire treasures are gone. Cave of Shadows and Cave of Embers are both underwater now.
They are indeed, but they're still on the board. We just got to make sure we protect them.
We're losing ground now.
But here's
The island's moving faster than we can save it.
what I'm going to do with my turn. I'm going to use the helicopter lift to actually fly you over to the Misty Marsh.
So you fly me to Misty Marsh. That puts me between Cave of Shadows and Crimson Forest. I can shore up both of those and keep them from disappearing.
Yep, here we go. So you shore up Cave of Shadows and Crimson Forest. And now your last move, you can either move to Fool's Landing, you can move to the Crimson Forest, or you can move to the Cave of Shadows and hopefully you get more fire. We've only got 2 right now, so it might take a little while.
Cave of Shadows. We need fire cards, and that's where they are. If I get lucky and pull fire, I'm right there to claim the treasure.
All right, so here's your treasure cards. It's another Waters Rise.
Another Waters Rise. That's the 3rd one. Water level's gonna jump again.
And then here's your second card. The second one was a fire, so now we have 3 fire and 2 wind. Yep, so Bronze Gate flooded again. Watchtower is
No
now...
big deal. It's gone now anyway.
Watchtower is now gone. And Crimson...
Watchtower's gone. But Bronze Gate, did it flood or did you shore it up?
No, Bronze Gate just flooded again. But now it's my turn. I'm going to move back to Fool's Landing, shore up Bronze Gate, and shore up Iron Gate. They were on either side of that, so that's my 3 turns. Then I got a sandbag. I will hold on to that. Earth.
Let's see what comes up.
Don't need it.
So you've got fire, wind, and stone now. What do you want me to do?
I think the best thing might be to try and shore up the Crimson Forest.
So I move to Misty Marsh at shores of Crimson Forest. Then I move back to Cave of Shadows where the fire cards are. That's my 3 actions. Now I draw.
Got another chalice, not helpful. And another chalice. Well, you're just going to hang on to them for now, but yeah, we'll discard them later. Misty Marsh Floods.
Hold on to. And for now, we'll clean up later.
The observatory is gone. That disappeared. And now the Cave of Shadows, where you're standing, is flooding.
Cave of Shadows is flooding. That's where I'm standing. And observatory's gone.
Yep, but now it's my turn. I think I can help you. I'm going to flip over the Misty Marsh and shore it up. Then move to it and then shore up the Cave of Shadows. So you're
Flip
safe.
Misty Marsh back over and shore it up. That saves it from disappearing.
Yep, and then I moved there and I also shored up the Cave of Shadows so you're not in danger anymore. All right, I got a helicopter lift, which I'm going to get rid of my stone, and then another Waters Rise. Here we go.
Another Waters Rise. That's the 4th one. Water levels jumping again.
Yep, but it's still at level 3, but here's the thing. The 3 cards that I just flipped over are going to come right back out again.
All right. The discard pile reshuffles back in. So those flood cards we just dealt with, they're going right back into the deck.
Yep, but
We're going to see them again soon.
Fortunately, we shored everything up, so we're okay. The Misty Marsh just flipped back over. Misty Marsh is flooded. Cave of Shadows, where you're standing, is flooded.
How many cards left in the deck before we hit another Waters Rise?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. There are 3 of them in there. So we've just hit 1. We could hit another one on the next turn. All right. We are fortunate, though, because where you're standing is where the 3 cards are that just came out. So you can flip all 3 of them over.
Yeah. I'm a Cave of Shadows and you were here too. I can flip all 3 flooded tiles, Cave of Shadows, Misty Marsh, and the 3rd one. That's my 3 actions right there.
All right, your 3 actions are done. Here come your treasure cards.
So I flip all 3. That's my turn done. What do you drop?
Waters Rise again. Oh no. It moved up to 4. These go back on top.
Another Waters Rise already. That's the 5th one.
And another lame chalice that we already had. Not good. I know what's about to happen.
Chalice. We're drowning in those now.
I know what's about to happen. We're flipping over the Misty Marsh again. We're flipping over the Cave of Shadows again. And we are flipping over the Bronze Gate again. But again, fortunately,
Bronze
we are...
Gate again. That's the 3rd time it's come up in the flood pile.
Yeah, but fortunately, both of us are right here protecting it. So let's go ahead and do the same thing again. I flip over the Misty Marsh. I flip over the Cave of Shadows. And then I'm moving on to Fool's Landing. And I'll just stay there.
So you flip Misty Marsh and Cave of Shadows back over. Then you move to Fool's Landing. That's your 3 actions. You were leaving Bronze Gate for me to handle.
I'm actually going to use the sandbags to flip the Bronze Gate back over.
Oh, you're using a sandbag to flip Bronze Gate back over instead.
Yep.
That keeps it safe. Smart.
Yep, and then I got a wind card, so now I have 3 wind and 3 fire. And another chalice.
3 wind, 3 fire. We're locked and loaded now. Just
Yep.
need to get to those treasures before the board collapses.
Maybe you could walk over to the Temple of the Moon, which is 2 moves, and flip over the Golden Gate.
So I walk to Temple of the Moon. That's 2 moves over Golden Gate and Dunes of Deception.
Yep.
Then I've got 1 action left.
Yep, take your pick. Do you want to flip over the Dunes of Deception or the Gold Gate?
Golden Gate. We need more tiles safe so we have room to move around. Dunes of Deception can wait.
Sounds good. All right, here come your treasure cards. You got a helicopter, which is good. We can get rid of one of the chalices that you don't
Let's see
need.
what comes up.
And you got a sandbag. Here come.
Helicopter lift and a sandbag. Those are both solid.
Yep,
We can ditch a chalice since we already got that treasure.
you got it. All right, here we go. 4 more floods. Crimson Forest is now flooded.
4 flood cards coming. Here we go.
Tidal Palace is now gone. Temple of the Sun.
Which one just flooded?
The
Tidal
Temple.
Palace is gone.
Yep, Crimson.
Temple of the Sun flooded.
Exactly.
That's 2 big ones.
And then the Lost Lagoon is also flooded. All right. So here.
Temple of the Sun, Crimson Forest, and Lost Lagoon all flooded. We're losing a lot of ground fast.
Yep. So I'm going to move down to the Iron Gate and flip the Crimson Forest and the Lost Lagoon back over. So that's my 3 actions. And hopefully we'll get a treasure we need here. And we did. I now have 4 wind treasures.
So you move to Iron Gate, flip Crimson Forest, and Lost Lagoon back over. That's your 3. Then you draw, hoping for wind or fire.
And I got wind. So now I have all 4. And I got a fire, which I can't keep. That's no good. I can't give it to you, and I don't want to trade anything. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is. All right, here comes 4 more flood tiles. Cave of Embers is now gone. Dunes of Deception are now gone. Fool's Landing.
Numbers and Dunes of Deception are both gone now. That's
Yep.
2 more tiles disappearing.
Yep, Fool's Landing flooded and Gold Gate flooded. All right, it is now your turn.
Fool's Landing flooded? That's where you need to be to get the wind treasure. And Golden Gate too.
Actually, Fool's Landing is where we need to be to take off. The wind treasure is at Whispering Gardens.
Okay, so Fool's Landing's flooded where you need the wind. What do I do?
I would say that you can move towards Fool's Landing and flip it back over. What do you think?
Alright, Fool's Landing is where we escape from when treasure's at Whispering Garden. So I move towards Fool's Landing, that's 1 action. Then I've got 2 left. Should I shore up Fool's Landing to keep it safe or move closer to Whispering Garden for the win?
Nope, you should flip Fool's Landing over for sure. I've got the cards for Whispering Garden. So I had you flip Fool's Landing over and then you move back to the Cave of Shadows because you're hoping to get that last fire. And here come your 2
I move
cards.
to Bronze Gate, then Fool's Landing, then Cave of Shadows. That's 3 moves, all my actions.
All right, we're hoping to get a fire. You got an Earth, which we don't need. And
Come on, fire card.
you got a Wind, which we don't need.
Here, win. We already have 3. We need fire.
Yep, so I'm going to use your helicopter. You've got a helicopter lift to move me to Whispering Gardens.
Oh, that was free. The helicopter lift doesn't count as an action. So
Yep.
you still have 2 moves left.
So I'm going to turn in the wind cards and take the wind treasure. Now we've got 3 of the 4 treasures.
3 treasures.
And then
Up stone and chalice. Just fire left.
I'm going to move 2 spaces to Fool's Landing. So I'll be there ready to go. And hopefully, pretty soon we will have the last fire card and you can get the fire, which is where you're standing.
So you move to Fool's Landing, that's 2 spaces. You're there ready to escape. And I'm a Cave of Shadows waiting for that last fire card to show up.
All right. I turn over an Earth and I get another Water's Rise.
Earth card. That's not fire though.
All right, we're on the last level 4. of Waters Rise. All right, so I reshuffle them, and here we go.
Yeah, we keep hitting Waters Rise and reshuffling. The deck's cycling faster than we can pull cards.
All right, Temple of the Sun. That is now gone. Lost Lagoon floods.
Temple of the Sun's gone. We are running out of board fast.
Fool's Landing floods. And Misty
Lost
Marsh
Lagoon's gone
floods.
too. Fool's Landing flooded. That's where you need to be to escape. And Misty Marsh too.
Yep, so it's your turn. You're still trying to get stuff. Now, it might be a good idea for you to come to Fool's Landing, shore it up, and then take the fire card from me.
I move to Fool's Landing. That's one action. Then I've got two left. Should I shore it up to keep it safe or move towards Cave of Shadows for the fire?
Nope, I think you should just shore it up. So we're both standing there
Shore up
together.
Fool's Landing. That's two actions. Then move back to Cave of Shadows for the fire. That's three.
All right, so then that's that. So then the last thing is you get two cards, and please get a fire. Nope. You got a stone.
We made it this far. One fire card left to pull.
You got a stone and a helicopter lift. All right, so
Cute stone and helicopter lift. No fire. We're so close.
yep. Let's use your sandbag to shore up Misty Marsh. So that doesn't cost anything. And then I'm gonna give you a fire card. So you just need one more. So that's one action on my turn.
Oh, you use my sandbag to shore up Misty Marsh.
Yep, and then that's all I'm doing. So I'm gonna draw two more cards. And I got the other fire, which you can just take from me, which is perfect.
You move to Cave of Shadows where I'm standing.
All right, so now we are both standing on Fool's Landing. You've got three fire cards, and I've got the fourth one that you can take from me, but we have to do the flood first. Bronze Gate.
The other fire. We've
Oh.
got it. Both of us at Fool's Landing with three fire cards between us. Just got to survive the flood.
Yep, Cave of Shadows just flooded. That's where you need to go, so we got to fix that. Gold Gate is now gone. And the last one is Crimson
Cave of
Forest.
Shadows flooded where we need to be. And Golden Gate is gone. We got to shore up Cave of Shadows before it disappears.
So here's what I think you should do. Take the card, the fire card from me. So now you have all four.
Crimson Forest too. So we got to shore up Cave of Shadows and Crimson Forest before they disappear. So I take the fire card from you. Now I've got all four fire cards. I can claim the fire treasure.
So I'm going to have you use the helicopter lift to fly right to the Cave of Shadows.
I use the helicopter lift to fly to Cave of Shadows and shore it up. That saves it from disappearing.
Actually, I think it might be better because you can get this while it's flooded. Turn in your four fire cards and get the last treasure.
I claim the fire treasure while it's still flooded. Turn in my four fire cards, get the treasure. Then we both get to Fool's Landing and escape.
Yep, so here's what we need to do. We need to get you to Fool's Landing, and we need to find a helicopter card so we can leave. But that's it. We've got the four treasures now.
So I claim the fire treasure right now. Then I need to get to Fool's Landing where you are, and we need a helicopter card to escape with all four treasures.
All right, here goes. You draw two cards. We're hoping for a helicopter lift. Oh no. Waters Rise.
No helicopter. What did you pull?
Waters Rise. Another Waters Rise card. We are one space away from the skull. If we get another Waters Rise card, we lose.
Another Waters Rise. We're so close.
All right, so we've got Lost Lagoon, disappears.
One space away from the skull. One more water's rise and we lose everything.
Misty Marsh is gone. Or Misty Marsh flips over. That's
Lost
2.
Lagoon's gone. We are down to nothing now.
Fool's Landing flipped over. It's flooded.
So Misty Marsh flips back over. Fool's Landing flips back over. That's 2 tiles saved.
Bronze Gate is gone. And the Cave of Shadows is gone. But you come back. You swim over to the Misty Marsh.
So Fool's Landing flooded again. That's where we need to escape from.
So I am going
So
to...
if you get 2 waters rise in a row, you don't do flood cards twice. You just move the water level up and reshuffle. Got it.
That is correct. So now I'm using my turn to shore up Misty Marsh, shore up Fool's Landing, and that's the end of my turn.
You shore up Misty Marsh. That's your one action. Then you draw.
Now we're drawing cards. We need a helicopter to escape. I got a fire and an earth. So the Crimson Forest is now gone.
So you got fire and earth. Fire's good. We've got plenty now. What about the flood cards?
The Whispering Gardens flipped over. The Iron Gate flipped over.
Crimson Forest's gone. Whispering Gardens flipped back over.
Cliffs
One more card.
of Abandon. All right. So now it's your turn. All you
Iron
need to...
Gate flipped back over. So we've got more tiles coming back. What's next?
All you need to do is come to Fool's Landing and get the Iron Gate flipped back over, and now we're just looking for the helicopter.
Abandoned flooded. Now it's my turn. I just need to get to Fool's Landing where you were right.
Yep. So now we're just looking for the helicopter. And there it is. You drew the helicopter, the first card. It says play at any time.
I drew the helicopter on my first card. So I've got it right now.
And it says on there
I just
play...
moved to Fool's Landing where you are and we escape with all 4 treasures.
It says play at any time. Do you think we can play it right now?
So I moved to Fool's Landing. We've got all 4 treasures and the helicopter. We escape and win.
That's it. We fly off and we win the game.
We won. That was intense. We almost lost so many times, but we made it. Stone Chalice, Wind, Fire, all 4 treasures. And we got out.
Moxie, can you recap our adventure?
Okay, so we landed on this island that's literally sinking. We had to grab 4 treasures before it disappeared completely. You were the pilot, I was the messenger. We split up most of the time. You grabbed treasures, I shored up tiles to keep them from vanishing. Bronze Gate was the one we couldn't lose. We protected the thing like 3 times. We got stone first, then chalice. Wind was brutal because both fire treasure spots kept flooding before we could get there. But we kept flipping them back over with sandbags and helicopter lifts. Last part was tight. We were 1 water's rise away from losing everything. But you pulled a helicopter lift card right when we needed it and we got out with all 4 treasures. What stuck with you the most?
I think the fact that we worked together as a team to make sure that the tiles that we wanted to keep stayed in the game.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? We didn't just randomly grab stuff. We both knew what mattered, Bronze Gate, Fool's Landing, and we protected them together. That's why we won.
All right, well, thanks for playing with me, Moxie. That was fun.
That one hit different. We actually had to work for it.